Hey guys, how are ya? Welcome back to my channel. It's me, Steven. I know I forgot to cut my hair. I wanted to today. I wanted to cut it today. I meant to, but the cats wanted to cuddle a little. And you know, it's either cut my hair or cuddle with the cats. Yeah. So, I look like this. But, yeah, so the cats are ready for my trip. I have a 4-day trip starting today. It's a little bit longer than my usual trip. Usually, I'm gone for about 72 hours. This time I'm gone for 80 hours. It's a long trip for me, but the credit is really good. So the cats have food, water, clean litter boxes, toys, air, lots of windows. So they're all set. Doors are all locked, bags are all packed. Oh, and I started this. I could probably tell you about this when I get back from my trip, but I started some of those Cosmos seeds I bought a few weeks ago, and I started a whole tray of catnip. We'll see what happens there. So I now have 1 hour and 50 minutes to get to work on 2 buses. Last time it took me about 50 minutes. So I think I'll be on time for work. I think that's it for now. I'll see you at the airport. All right, so my airline has a scale in the crew room to weigh our bags. I don't know why, but I weighed my lunch bag. This is just my lunch bag. Is that not crazy? All right, the last time I weighed my rollerboard, it was 26 pounds, 25 and a half pounds. So my lunch bag is 5 pounds lighter than my rollerboard. Crazy. All right, guys, hi. So we are going to go to Detroit this afternoon. The flight time is 3 hours and 18 minutes, I believe. We are full, 188 passengers booked. And great crew, awesome crew. It's an all-girl crew, me and 3 girls. Hey there, all right, so the shuttle is not here yet, thank goodness. Usually I get irritated when the shuttle's not here at this point. It is 10:01. We have an hour before our show time, so that's fine. But oh my God, I don't know how I left my room so late. I was eating breakfast, which was really lunch, and watching on YouTube the Dinah Shore show from 1960. I mean, whatever. But yeah, yesterday that one leg we had from Vegas to Detroit. For the most part, the trip was okay. We did have one gentleman who seemed to really relish being a challenge on the entire flight. Everything we did to accommodate him just didn't work, and he was, for some reason, just hell-bent on being unhappy. And yeah, there are things I'd like to say about what happened, but it wouldn't come across well. So I'll tell you, it got to the point where he was spitting mad at and at a certain point, you have to like give them space and stop trying to make them happy, because you can't, right? This is like having an ex-husband, right? But we're leaving the plane, and he was at the outside the gate, because you know I always have a story about this, right? He's at the gate, oh, the van's here. He's waiting for us, I think, and we're walking down the aisle to the airport. My coworker says, "So, Steven, he's coming up behind you. Like, what was he gonna do? Attack? You know, little old man." And at one point, he just keeps talking. I'm trying to ignore him, and then I don't try to ignore him. And he calls me the F word that rhymes with maggot. Let's just say that. And he calls me a sissy. That kind of, yeah, it was disconcerting. I'll just say it was disconcerting. But our shuttle's here, and it's a brand new day, and we're going to Tampa. All right, so I will see you later. We gave ourselves an hour to get from the hotel to our gate, because Detroit does a lot of walking, and sometimes our gates are, she's so loud. Our gates are so far away, but we got here, a coworker and I walked to Starbucks, which is at the very, very end of the terminal, to find it closed. Then we got to our gate, We still have 40 minutes, so I'm gonna head over to probably Coney Island or McDonald's to get like a iced tea or something. So, oh, getting the steps in. Nope. After walking the entire length of Detroit Airport, the line is so long that, yeah, I'm unwilling. I'm unwilling to wait. So, I'll crack a Diet Coke on the plane. It'll be fine. All right, so that flight from Detroit to Tampa couldn't have been better. It was lovely. It was just the antithesis of yesterday. Everyone was spectacular, great people, loved them, was wonderful. Most flights are genuinely fine. So, you know, I might mention periodically a challenge or an opportunity to love someone, which, you know, that's how it should be. I mention it once in a while, but, you know, it is so infrequent that we really have a real challenge on board. Yesterday we had one, but today was just lovely so far. It was a nice start to the day. It's a fairly long day. You know, it's Detroit, Tampa, Hartford, Tampa. It's a relatively long day. But so far so good, and I got a great crew, so I really can't complain at all. All right, so the last flight was 2 hours and 11 minutes. This flight's gonna be 2 hours and 19 minutes. All right, so we'll see you in Hartford. Hi guys, hi. So we're in Hartford. This is what Hartford. Fun, fun, fun. Remind me to tell you about the story of this, the smoke alarm in the bathroom. Hey guys, hi, welcome back to Tampa. The last time I saw you, I think I was asking you to remind me to tell you the story about the lavatory or the smoke alarm, or I'm not sure how I phrased it, but so that flight, I want to say this is the flight to Hartford. The flight was, for the most part, super easy. I mean, no challenge, very few challenges. Very few challenges. One. But, you know, for the most part, everyone was perfectly fine, perfectly wonderful. And the one person who wasn't so perfectly wonderful just seemed to have some challenges. You know, emotional, I don't know. She certainly had some physical challenges. She had had a couple surgeries, and she was trying to show us some of her scars. I mean, and they were just really high up on her leg. It was uncomfortable, honestly. There were a couple things that were a little uncomfortable about the situation. But managed it. We're doing fine. And then, I don't know what we were doing at the moment. I think we were finishing up service or something. But the smoke alarm goes off in one of the lavatories. It's alarming, and it's kind of scary. If you are a flight attendant, you know what oxygen systems are on board these planes. And if you're not a flight attendant, the entire aircraft is threaded completely. Every seat above it has this oxygen generator using solid material that is very, very flammable. Oxygen. And so these systems are kind of frightening, and it's the reason fires are so, we're so afraid of having a fire on board. Well, when someone is potentially smoking in a lavatory, it could potentially be catastrophic. It's the reason that there's a no smoking sign every 5 feet in the aircraft, right? So I don't know, out of the blue, I don't even know what we were doing, but suddenly there's a certain alarm. Airbus aircraft have like a language. All the planes talk to you. They tell you what's going on. And you, as a flight attendant, pick up on this language and you know immediately what's going on. Well, this sound happens. You instantly look up and the amber light is flashing over one of the lavatories. And I look at the FAP and it says it's in lavatory A. And this passenger who required a little more care was in there. And when there's a smoke alarm going off, it could potentially be a fire. And so you have to treat it with a sense of urgency. Now, I treated it with a sense of urgency. And if you don't know, I am not a quiet person. I am very loud. Every day I've ever had has always said, Stephen, could you just bring it down a little? So I pounded on the door and I said, Miss, you know, what's going on? I don't even know what I said, but I was like, Miss, please open this door. And I waited like 5 seconds. I pounded again, and she says, I'm peeing. I don't mean to tell you the whole story, and then I tell you the whole story. I'm peeing, and and I pound on the door again. Miss, you need to open this door now. And she's like, not doing it. And I said, Miss, I'm giving you 10 seconds, and I'm opening this door. Now, people are watching. I mean, you know, and I've spent the whole flight being hi, happy, funny, sweet, you know, and I have to turn to my mother all of a sudden. But it could be potentially catastrophic if there is a fire, if she is smoking in the lavatory. If she put a cigarette out in the lavatory and the tissue and stuff in the lavatory were to burn, there's a fire extinguisher and it's set up to automatically extinguish fires at 170 degrees, but still, you don't want to have a fire. So I say, Miss, if I'm opening this door. If you don't open this door in 10 seconds, I'm opening this door. And we can unlock the door from outside. And she doesn't open the door, so I do. And she's sitting there. And there are choices we can all make in every situation. And she just didn't choose a polite route. So yeah. And it was just unpleasant. She's like, I'm not smoking. She's either vaping or doing something in there because the whole lavatory had this like sweet smell. So I'm assuming she was vaping. And it was just upsetting. And she didn't seem to understand the severity of the situation. And I called the captain immediately and I said, hi guys, how are you? And if you've never been, I'm telling you the whole story, I don't mean to. If you've ever been, and I have been, if you're in the cockpit or the flight deck and the fire alarm goes off in the cockpit, it's scary. It's terrifying. It's very loud. It's very scary. And there's a big word, fire, that's like lit up somewhere. And it's really alarming because any fire on board that plane could potentially be catastrophic. So we treat it very seriously. And she was not treating it very seriously. And so I spoke to the captain and he made it very clear what directions to give her in terms of sitting down and not moving and nothing. And she complied. So in the end, it turned out fine. Nothing happened. But it was just upsetting. It really was. And I think I used the word disconcerting earlier in a different situation. Every day has offered a situation. But this one, yeah, just it's scary when you see these fire alarms go off. It's just not a good thing. It's not a good thing. But thankfully, I had a captain who backed me up, and I most certainly have to write a report on this because it's definitely a safety report. So I'll write that probably tomorrow. Tomorrow, excuse me, this layover we have here in Tampa is 22 hours. My thought was to go to Busch Gardens. I love going to Busch Gardens. I love Busch Gardens. But it would cost me about $20 or more to Uber there in the morning, and it would cost me like 20 some odd dollars to Uber back in the afternoon. And then tomorrow night, we have a 9-something show at the airport for a sort of a red-eye turn to Puerto Rico and back to Tampa tomorrow night. So the idea of going to an amusement park and spending the whole day like kind of exhausting myself and then having to work a Puerto Rico turn doesn't sound like the wisest choice. Biddings opened up today, so I had been hoping to go to Busch Gardens tomorrow, but I think I'm going to stay in the room. There's really nothing around here, I don't think. Bid for my trips for May, and yeah, I think that's what I should do. And then obviously write a report. So that's probably what I'll be doing. I'm going to stay up as late as I can tonight. I'm watching the Food Network and hopefully exhaust myself so I sleep relatively late tomorrow. Either way, I'm going to try and take a nap before our red-eye to Puerto Rico. I'm just hoping there's no problems or challenges. My coworker who works next to me in position D speaks Spanish. Her parents, I think, are Cuban, so she speaks Spanish. So I promised her that we wouldn't abuse her language skills tomorrow. But it will be nice to make sure that someone has, because we don't have LOD positions in my airline. You speak the language or you don't. So if we need someone who speaks the language to help us out in any situation, she's volunteered to help us out. But I don't want to abuse her talents in knowing a language. You know what I mean? So blah, 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 blah. I keep talking. So I will see you probably sometime tomorrow. If I have the time, I might make a separate video about something else that I have been promising to make for a long time. So watch out for that video, and I will see you tomorrow. All right, have a good night. Hey, did I even mention what this last leg was like from Hartford to Tampa? A breeze, perfect, easy, every day should be like this. The only challenge, there's one challenge. There was a baby in 2A. I almost ate it. It was so cute. This baby, this little girl, this little precious little baby she was like a muffin. I could have eaten this baby. She was so sweet. Oh my God. The poor thing though, you know, she's 9 months old and she's just now learning how to communicate. And she's like kind of like curling her hand and waving at me, and she was able to kind of almost clap a couple times, and she was just the sweetest thing. But whenever she would cry, I'd go over and, you know, say hi, whatever, and she'd give me a little look, and she'd stop crying. And then we were descending into Tampa. You know, the pressure in her ears made her cry, and it was heartbreaking. Heartbreaking, because she was so sweet and so delicate. That she should experience pain at all is like just a horrific thing. The poor thing was just so sweet. But I would go over and be like, hi, you know, hi, sweetheart. And I'd clap or do this. And she would do the same thing. And then she'd remember her ears hurt. She would cry again. So we had to land. And so I got in my jump seat. And everyone around her, all the guys, all the women around the little baby, were trying to distract the baby and wave and clap, and no one was successful, just me. Oh, that little baby. I could have eaten that baby. So cute. But I don't know how much longer I can stay up. It's only midnight, and I am already wiped out. So I was hoping to go to bed a little bit later so I can sleep late, but whatever. I'll just have some relaxed blend tea with my ring. And hopefully that will knock me out for long enough. All right, I'll let you go. I'll talk to you later. All right, hi, good afternoon. It is just past 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I just woke up maybe 20 minutes ago. Last night, I think I filmed saying it was like midnight, and I don't know how much longer I can stay awake because I'm so tired, right? And then I remembered bidding started that day, the 15th. And so I don't have a laptop at home. I don't want to go into the crew room at the airport and bid, because that'll be hours on the laptop, on a computer there. And so I figured, you know, I'm on a layover. There's a computer downstairs in the lobby. No one's going to be down there at this hour. So I went down and I spent like 3.5, 4 hours bidding. I fall into like this fugue state bidding, looking at each line, looking at each trip, looking at layovers, looking at ground time, and there are things I do and don't want to do. Trips I like. I don't have any specific needs or requirements in May, so it was just really looking for lines that satisfied my desire to have good layovers, see cities maybe I haven't seen before, and not be away from base as long as some trips, because I just don't want to be away from my babies. So I was down there for quite a while. Then I came upstairs, had a snack because I was hungry. I know, play-by-play of my layover. Short story, I didn't get to sleep till like 6 o'clock in the morning, because then I fell into a rabbit hole watching YouTube videos. Whatever. So it's fine because I woke up nice and late in the afternoon. I only have about 6 hours or so before my van time. Then we do that Puerto Rico turn. We're back in this hotel tonight, and the hotel told us that we actually have the same rooms. So we can actually leave our bags and our food in the fridge. I'm just like, yay, this is the first time ever this has happened to me. I'm still gonna pack my rolling tote with all of my required items, just in case we get diverted or something happens. Take a fresh set of underwear, that kind of thing. Cut my toiletries, stuff like that, just in case we get stuck somewhere other than Tampa. So otherwise, I'm gonna leave all my stuff here. That'll be just great. Oh my God. I think that's my day so far. I was gonna go to Busch Gardens. I was thinking about going to Busch Gardens. I talked myself out of it. Because I kind of have plans for this week coming up. I'm off for like 7 days. I kind of have plans, and I'll bring you along with me if I go. But, so I wanted to save the money. I would spend $20, $25 getting an Uber there and back. I would get a quick queue, so I don't have to wait in line at Busch Gardens. And then I would get food and blah, blah, blah. I would spend, easily $100 today on Busch Gardens. And if I get the chance to do something later on this week that I want to do, I'd rather put that money towards that. So, no Busch Gardens for this trip. So I'm just going to hang out in the room, watch some videos. I'm going to rent a video. Oh, I can't. Oh, shoot. I was planning on watching a video today. I have a TV. I have my phone. I have lots of food. I'll be plenty occupied for the next few hours. I do want to take a nap for like an hour, but that's it. So I will see you later on, probably at the airport. Okay? See ya. I forgot to show you my t-shirt. I think I've shown you this before, but Black Lives still matter, I don't hear it all the time anymore, but just a heads up, just letting you know. All right, so that leg from Tampa to Puerto Rico was easy. I'd say effortless to a degree. There was just teeny tiny little issue, teeny things, nothing crazy. We had an aisle chair, so we had to wait for people to get off before they got the aisle chair off. And now they're doing a security search. We have to do a security search after midnight, the beginning of any day, I believe. So the security people and cleaning people are doing that. So that's it. Fairly easy. Because I slept so late today, I'm not sleepy right now, which is I'm so grateful for. But I do have some caffeine if I need it. I left all of my bags except for my tote bag. I think I mentioned that. We're going to have the same rooms in Tampa that we did yesterday. So we were able to leave all our bags in the hotel rooms. They promised us they weren't going to make up the rooms. They weren't going to even open them. So I left everything out there. If they are going to open that room up, they're going to be a little surprised. A little messy. Yeah, so we're going to head back to Tampa in a few minutes, and we'll have about 10 and a half hours, probably 10, in Tampa before we fly back to Vegas. So I will see you at some point soon. Hey guys, hi. So we're in Tampa. I'm hiding from this very loud truck that just pulled up next to our seating area while we wait for the shuttle. We just missed the shuttle, apparently. He had to go back to the hotel and pick up a new crew. We have a 10-hour layover, which is now being eaten into steadily by waiting for shuttles. Because it's 10 hours from we get out of the plane till we have to be back on the plane. So it's not 10 hours of real rest, it's just 10 hours where you're not working. Fun fact. Do you hear that truck? And that's far away. It's way over there. Hey guys, how are you? So I am in the room, back in the room in Tampa, and I'm putting together a little smoothie. Doesn't that look good so far? In my little mix-it. I had to find some room to put some yogurt in there. So I don't know what I was telling you when I was at the airport. That truck started up and it was awfully loud. I don't know what it is about this week or last week, that it just seems like every trip there seems to be one big challenge on the plane. And I almost describe to you in full detail the last one. Same seat, very funny today on this flight from Puerto Rico to Tampa. This guy got on board. He didn't, I'm not going to tell you all the details because it would not be fun. But I'll tell you enough. This guy got on board and he didn't seem inebriated. He didn't seem intoxicated. There was a moment where I was contemplating whether or not I should call a CRO. And a CRO, a complaint resolution officer, would come on board and see whether or not this person was potentially behaving this way because of some sort of medication or a disability or an illness rather than an alcohol. But he seemed okay, so he boarded, right? We're literally taking off, and do you know, like how I think, I'm not going to tell you all the whole story or all the details, and then I'll tell you the whole thing. We're taking off, we're literally climbing to our cruising altitude, and he rings the call bell. He wants to take some medication, so of course, I jump up, I get him some water so he can take his pill. He takes a pill. I'd say about a half hour later, we're doing service, and I did not get to him before, my coworkers got to him before we did up in front. So they served him some alcohol, not a lot, a beer and a shot, not a lot of alcohol, but whatever he took earlier and that amount of alcohol plus the pressurization of the aircraft was enough to have him be really sloppy. Really, and he wanted to order more, and that wasn't going to happen, and he got aggressive. And then I think he may have soiled himself early in the flight because we had some complaints about odors. It was just, and we're full, like full, 183 people booked. Yeah, it was just stressful. So tomorrow, knock on wood, one leg from Tampa to Vegas. It can't be that bad. Although I've done that before and jinxed myself. So let me take that back. I think I showed you, I'm making a smoothie. I'm trying to get some liquid in there, get some yogurt, blend this up, and then suck it down and then just go to sleep. I have I'm going to get hopefully about 6 hours of sleep, which is plenty for one leg to Vegas. So I should be fine with that. They'll be back in Vegas by 9:30 or something in the evening. One thing I wanted to say, and I hope this, I'm sure it hasn't come across this way, but you know, anytime I share a story about a challenge on board or a passenger on board, you know, it's all you hear about. And so it must sound like I'm complaining about all of our guests, our passengers. But in reality, I can't tell you about every single great passenger on board because I would have videos that are already, you know, they're already way too long. But, you know, like tonight's flight from Puerto Rico here, we had one guy who was just a handful. He was a handful. But everyone else on the plane was remarkable, spectacular. In fact, the people who were around him just practiced the most amazing levels of patience I have seen passengers practice in a long time. They were wonderful. So anytime I mention, I hope it's not complaining, anytime I share some stories about what has happened on an airplane with a potential challenge or someone who needs a little extra love, you know, I'd like you to also remember that for every one person I talk about, there's 150, 170 other people who are just great. So I have to remember that. I have to remember that when I'm in the middle of a situation where one person is causing a scene. I have to remember that, thank goodness, we had 181 or 180 some odd other people who were following directions and were just fantastic. So I really am grateful for our guests, especially, I mean, I think I say it often enough. I just love our passengers. They're real, everyday people. There's no one in like business class going, oh, travel isn't luxurious anymore. Hair flip. You know, it's like we have real people. And I'm just so grateful. I'm so grateful for them. I am overtired. I can feel it right here. So I probably shouldn't be talking to you, but I think that's it for tonight. Or this morning, I'm gonna eat this smoothie, go to sleep. I should probably get about 6 hours of sleep tonight. I think I already told you that, so I should probably stop talking. Yeah, all right, good night. All right, I have to be downstairs in like 12 minutes for the shuttle, so I want to chat with you guys just for a moment. I think I hope last night I mentioned that while I might talk in my videos about maybe one particular challenge we had on an aircraft or a leg or a flight, and that, you know, this person was either a challenge or an opportunity to learn. And I feel like it may sound like I'm talking a lot about passengers in general, but, you know, I'm talking about that one person. And what I don't talk about is the 181 other people who were just magnificent or just okay, you know? And I was thinking in the shower this morning, what a great analogy for the rest of my life. You know, these days, I keep beating myself up like, I don't have a car, I don't have a car. Oh, look how difficult my life is because I don't have a car. Well, at some point in this video, maybe now, if I'm doing this right, I just inserted 2 photographs of different points of view of the minivan that I was living in 4 years ago. Yeah, so I keep going, oh, I don't have a car, wah, wah, wah. I own a home. I have 3 beautiful cats. I have a job I love. I work with amazing people. 99.44% of my passengers are amazing. I'm healthy. I've got good teeth, finally. So, you know, I talk about these occasional passengers like, oh my God, they were such a challenge. And then I have to try to really be mindful of, like, I had one challenge. There was one person that might have been a challenge on that plane. Everyone else was amazing, you know? So I hope that that comes across sometimes. Like, I talk about some people and my experiences with the potential challenges, but when I don't talk about is like all the blessings. And today, in the shower this morning, I'm thinking of all the blessings. I don't have a car. Womp, womp. So it takes me an hour to get to the airport. Womp, womp. I'm so blessed, right? All right. I have to get downstairs. I have 10 minutes. I'll talk to you later. All right. So we're on the plane in Tampa. It's hot. It's just under 85 degrees, which is too hot to board. So the pilots just arrived. Hopefully they'll get the air on ASAP so we can get the air going and then board these passengers. The back lav sink isn't draining, and that's about the only maintenance issue I'm aware of, so that's good. Did I even tell you what position I'm flying on this trip? I don't think I did. I'm flying lead because I love it. Only challenge with this is that my the flight attendant next to me is just a pain in the rear end, and she doesn't stop talking. She's great. She's great. She's great. What's that time here? Flight time is 4:47. Cross your fingers. Our first officer is commuting, so he wants to like get home. So see if we can make it a little faster. Cross your fingers. Hey guys, hi. So I'm in Las Vegas. I'm waiting for a bus. There's no Ubers and there's no lifts available. So I'm just gonna suck it up and take the bus home. I was desperate for a car home, but it's not gonna happen. So I'm gonna take the bus. So I think I jinxed myself. Did I this afternoon say like, oh gee, knock on wood, this flight's easy? I think I jinxed myself. Today was not the worst flight I've ever had, but it was one for the books. It was really one for the books. I don't know if I can even, I can't really describe it in too much detail, but I'll just tell you, like, yeah, one guy was removed from the aircraft. The police had to come and remove him from the aircraft. He was vaping, and I warned him. We did all we were supposed to do. I made an extra announcement that was really quite pointed. There is no vaping on board. It is a federal offense and blah, blah, blah. And yet this guy decided that he was going to pull out his vape on top of everything else he did. The flight was 4 hours and 47 minutes. And for 4 hours and 46 minutes of that flight, he was definitely a challenge. We had this poor man had a panic attack. Not the same guy, but back in row, the back of the plane, this young man had a panic attack. He's 25 years old, and apparently he has a panic attack every time he flies. I really wish he had told us when he was boarding that he has a panic attack every time he flies. But we had to contact MedLink. We had 2 nurses and a doctor on board to help us out. We used 4 POBs, which are portable oxygen bottles. We used 4 of them on him during this flight. He was super nice. You know, when someone is having a panic attack and they're struggling emotionally and physically on the plane, there's ways to handle it on their part that is helpful and productive to allow us to assist them. Some people really just panic and they lose all control and they kind of freak out, and it's really hard to take care of them as we should, you know, because they resist. Kind of like when someone who's drowning grabs a hold of the person who's trying to save them and pulls them under, you know. So some people just don't know how to handle receiving help, and this man was the opposite of that. He was fantastic. He really accepted and appreciated the help and comfort that we were offering him. My coworkers and I think we worked as a very good team. I was very, very happy with one of my coworkers, Ashley. It was one of her first, I think it was her first medical or her first experience with a POB, and she was just marvelous. She was really just marvelous. So everyone just worked out really well as a team. It was a fantastic crew, really, really top-notch crew. Everyone did their part and stepped out of the way to allow other people to do their part. You know, it was just really, really a well-executed medical. And, you know, leaving, he and I think it was his aunt he was traveling with, they both expressed their gratitude, and they were super, super grateful. And they were just wonderful. And up and down the flight, we had a series of people who were just like, we had to cut people off a number of times. Just a whole bunch of, just up and down the aircraft, there were sprinkles of minor challenges with these 2 larger challenges. Yeah, it was just a stressful flight. It wasn't the worst by any means, because I've had worse medicals. I've had larger distractions, but this is really the first time in a very long time, if ever, that someone's had to have, I've had to have the, well, I didn't have the authorities visit us. When my coworker told the captain that this gentleman was vaping, the captain made the decision to have the authorities arrive to escort him off the plane and make sure whatever happened, happened. But yeah, it was a stressful flight. It's very stressful. And I'm glad I'm off. I'm off for like a week. And I need this time off. I really do. I was thinking I needed a vacation. Oh, that's not my best. I was thinking I needed a vacation like last month, where I was just super burnt out. I've never had a real vacation. Every time I have like a vacation time, I need to spend the money I would have spent on a vacation towards like a vet bill or something came up every time I was going to take a vacation. So this 7 days off, I was contemplating trying to pick up a trip just for some money so I can put towards a car. If I don't pick up a trip, my paychecks next month are going to be really tiny, because I'm only getting 72 hours credit. That's it for this month. So if I choose to not take pick up a trip. I think I'll appreciate the rest, and that's probably worth money. Some self-care, you know. Or I pick up a trip and make the extra money and put that towards a car, which will bring me satisfaction and some peace later. I don't know what I'll do, but either case, my bus did just show up, so I will see you guys later. If I don't film something when I get home, I will say good night and fly safe for now. I may, if this video continues, I had a stray thought by the time I got home. All right, so I'll see you soon. Fly safe. Hey guys, so I guess this video is not ending. Another illustration of how luxurious and how fabulous my life is. Do you see me not being grateful? How long ago did I just talk about gratitude, and here I am being so ungrateful, but I'm really irritated. I waited for the bus to get to, you know, down South Maryland. Bus breaks down. I get to Sahara finally an hour later. I see my bus, the next bus I have to get, across the street. I'm trying to run for it, but I got all these bags. I'm yelling. I think I hurt something in my throat, screaming for the bus. Didn't work. And the next bus is 25 minutes, so I'm walking. It's a mile. It's exactly 1 mile. I'm fat, so I could stand to burn a couple calories pulling my luggage a mile. Ta-da! There's the end of my video. I really have to remember to be grateful. I really, really, really do. But sometimes it's hard. All right, well, this is the real end of this video. I am sorry to be so negative at the ending, but this is my life, and I think I share pretty much every part of it with you guys. So, hope you're having a great day, and I will talk to you soon. Fly safe.